Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Nathaniel here from Chessit, here to cover the Chess.com daily puzzle titled Lighting the Tactical Fuse. Now, before I get into this video, I want to make a promise, you guys. I'll start posting consistently come the December 19th, but for now, I think I'm gonna not make as consistent videos just because I have finals next week and I'm kind of swamped with homework. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the puzzle. So, what I immediately saw in this position is that although we're only down 1 point of material, there's simply too much pressure on our pieces on the board. For example, there are 3 attackers on our knight on e4, black's bishop, queen, and rook, and we only have 2 defenders, being our queen and our rook. And if we try to add another defender by playing, say, pawn f3, then we simply lose our queen, because our queen's being attacked too. So, this should be enough to let you know that this solution to this puzzle has to be a series of forcing moves. Because if we don't play forcing moves, and we allow black to get a tempo, then they're simply able to win a piece and win the game. Now, that leads me to checks. And there are actually only 2 checks on the board right now, so let's examine each. One, if we play knight f6 check, well, the reason why this stood out immediately is because we can see that if pawn were to take, like I'll just play it right now. If we play knight f6 check and pawn takes, then we actually have mate in 1 by taking black's rook on e8, delivering back rank to mate. However, if black simply takes with the bishop, then we're down a knight and we're losing the game. So now let's move on to our next check, which is actually queen g3 check. And at first you may be like, what? This gives up a queen. Black has a pawn on f4 that could simply capture. But bear with me here. You also have to notice that we have a rook on the same rank, on the 3rd rank, a rook on a3, meaning that if black takes on g3, we're able to deliver another check on g3, continuing the forcing line. And since this actually is the only remaining check, and since you can see that there are more forcing lines after this, we're actually going to go ahead and play queen g3 check. So, as I said, if black decides to block with his bishop, let's say moving bishop h7, we simply have mate in 1. So black takes our queen on g3 with his pawn on f4. And as I said, we deliver the only other check in this position. Well, actually there's 2, but the knight move still doesn't work for the same reason. We play rook takes g3 check. And from here, black is forced to play bishop g7. And you may be like, wow, I see a check that could work. I see rook takes g7 check. That wins a bishop and delivers a check to the king. However, if this is played and black simply moves back to h8, we've got nothing, and black's threatening to take our rook and threatening to take our knight, and it's just not a pleasant position for us. We're still losing. So without getting ahead of ourselves, let's look at any other checks. And luckily for us, there's only one, which is knight f6 check. And the point of playing this move now is that black's bishop on g7 is actually pinned this time. So black cannot take back with the bishop, and black is indeed forced to take back with the pawn. Only move. So we play knight f6 check. Black, again, is forced to take with the pawn or move the king, but yeah, actually, let's go over what happens if black were to move the king. So if black moves the king to h8, we simply have bishop takes g7 mate. And if black were to move the king to f8, we still have bishop takes g7 mate, right? Because the knight covers the square, bishop attacks both of these squares. So, moving on, black is forced to take our knight on f6, and we play rook takes e8 checkmate. Now, this was a very fun puzzle for me, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this explanation. And if you guys have, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember that more consistent videos are coming starting December 19th. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.